Good morning, kindergarten. We're going to go ahead and get started with our day. We're going to do a short little morning meeting, and then I have some lessons for you today. So we're going to start doing our calendar, and then we'll read our morning message. All right, and if you're at home today and you want to start with a greeting, I'm going to go ahead and send out our heart greeting to you. So I'll do my half of the heart. Good morning, K1. All right. So we're going to start with our calendar. So yesterday was March 18th, which means today is March, not 91st, 19th. All right, March 19th. All right. Yesterday was our 110, 20, 31st day of school. Sorry, today is our 131st day of school. Yesterday was our 130th, which means today is our 131st day of school. What day of the week was it yesterday? Yesterday was Wednesday. And if yesterday was Wednesday, today is Thursday, and if today is Thursday, tomorrow will be Friday. Awesome job. All right. Let's look over here at our morning message. Our morning message says, "Good morning, Kinder Crew. Today is Thursday, March 19th, 2020. I don't know if you can see me on that side. Can you tell if these words rhyme?" Love Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Wayland. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to have you do a thumbs up or a thumbs down if these two words rhyme, okay? Our first two sets of words, and remember, rhyming means they have the same ending sound, okay? The ending sounds the same. So, our first two words are pig and fig. Pig and fig. Okay, thumbs up if they rhyme, thumbs down if they don't. Pig and fig do rhyme. Awesome. All right, next up we have hot and cat. Hot, cat. They do not rhyme. They do not rhyme. All right, next up we have sat and bat. Sat, bat. Rhyme or no rhyme? They rhyme. Great job. All right, and the last one we have kick and heart. Kick, heart. Do they rhyme? Nope, they don't rhyme. They do not rhyme. Awesome. Great job, kindergarten. All right, you can take this time to practice our class song. Maybe do a go noodle, get your wiggles out, get ready for the day. And we're going to go ahead and get started with our lessons. Awesome. All right, kindergarten, so you can't see it right now, but on our We Are Learning board, what we're going to be learning today in math is that we can compare by length. So you can go ahead and repeat that at home. We can compare by length. All right, so we're going to be talking about a couple words today in our math lesson. We have length, shorter, longer, as long as. So I have two pencils here. Hopefully you can see them. But they are different lengths. They are different lengths. One is shorter than the other. One is longer than the other. Okay, and then we'll talk a little bit about as long as. So if I'm comparing these two pencils, I'm comparing their length, how long they are. Okay, the yellow pencil is shorter than the blue pencil. The blue pencil is longer than the yellow pencil. Another example could be Sawyer is shorter than Mrs. Jones, but Mr. Jones is longer than Mrs. Jones. So that's another example of shorter and longer. We're comparing length, how long something is, okay? So those are our key terms, length, shorter, and longer. And then also as long as, so things that are the same length. For example, I have 2 pencils here. Hopefully you can see them. I have 2 pencils here that are the same length, okay? One is not shorter than the other, one is not longer than the other. They are the same length. So that is as long as. The black pencil is as long as the white pencil, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and compare a few more things. I'm gonna hold up 2 items, and I want you at home to think about which one is shorter, which one is longer, or is one as long as the other. And then we'll go ahead and do our math review page. All right, the first thing I'm gonna hold up, okay, we have our hand sanitizer, very important. Make sure you're using this at home and washing your hands. And we have a marker. So if we lay them side by side like this, okay, which one is longer? Which one is longer? If you said the hand sanitizer, you are correct. The hand sanitizer is longer than the purple marker. Okay, the next items we have yardstick and Play-Doh. Which item is shorter? Which item is shorter? The Play-Doh is shorter than the yardstick. All right, and finally, we have Lily and Splat the cat. Which Stuffy is longer? Which Stuffy is longer? These are as long as. So Lily is as long as Splat, or you could say Splat is as long as Lily. They're the same length. Awesome job, kindergarten. So those are, there's our very loud bell. All right, so those are our key terms for today, for today's lesson. So when you're doing your worksheet in your workbook, you're going to be comparing longer, shorter, or as long as. So remember those key terms. We also have our review page, which I sent to your parents. So you either have the worksheet or you're going to copy it onto a piece of paper if you don't have a printer at home, which is totally fine. So I'm just going to explain these to you, and then you can go ahead and do them on your own. So the first one here, we're reviewing our number lines. We're reviewing our numbers in the correct order. So they're going from smallest to largest. Okay, so right now the numbers that are there, we have, grab my pointer, we have 4, 5, 6, what number is missing? And then 8. So you're going to choose what number is missing. 4, 5, 6, and 8. All right. And then for our second problem, which subtraction sentence tells about the counters? So you have a picture of counters here. Okay. You can see how many counters they started with, which includes the ones that are crossed off. Okay. That's the number that you're starting with in your number sentence. Then you're going to be looking how many are crossed off. So how many are being taken away from how many we started with equals how many are left. Okay? So choose the number sentence, the subtraction problem that matches this picture. Okay? So you'll be doing your review page, and then you're going to be doing your 12 to practice and reteach, which is going to be talking about length, shorter, longer, as long as. Great job, mathematicians. All right, readers. So we have started our nonfiction unit. So remember earlier, we talked about when you're reading, it's like going to the movies. Fiction readers, like movie viewers, pretend to be the character and they really feel what the character's feeling. And we talked about how we can figure out what the character is feeling by looking at the words, by looking at the pictures, by closing our eyes and putting ourselves in the character's position. Just like we did when we read Not Norman. We put ourselves in the position of Norman's owner and how he felt having a pet that he wasn't really excited about. So with that, today we're going to start a new bend. So we're still working on being avid readers. And remember, we talked about what avid readers look like and what avid readers do. They can't stop reading. They have a stack of books. They find places to read everywhere and they read a lot. And we were working on being avid fiction readers and we're going to continue doing that. But now we're going to be looking at nonfiction books. So starting today, you'll be avid readers of nonfiction, which means learn about the world books. So nonfiction books teach you about something. They're facts, as opposed to fiction books, which are stories with characters in them. So I thought we'd start this unit by thinking about what you do at the movies. If you're watching a true real life movie that teaches you stuff about the world. So I thought that we could do a little investigation. So I want us to think about what kind of thinking people do when watching a nonfiction movie. Could it be similar to what readers of nonfiction books think about and do? So we're going to study that question. And because we can't watch a full nonfiction movie, I was going to show you a short clip of a nonfiction documentary, just a small clip. And we're not going to be talking about the characters' feelings like we do with our fiction books. So what are we supposed to be thinking about? Well, we're going to watch just a few minutes of this short clip. It's about a minute and a half. And I want you to pay attention to the kinds of things that you are thinking when we watch this. Maybe while you were watching that, you were thinking, oh my gosh, that was gross. Why did that happen? What was that pointy thing? It ate the fly. You could be thinking all of those different things when you watch that video clip. So what I want you guys to realize is that you guys did so much great thinking about nonfiction while you watched that video. You guys were watching that video, hopefully, with fascination, and you looked like avid watchers. I'm sure at home, the first time I saw it, I was sitting there watching it like this, waiting to see what was going to happen. So it turns out that when you're watching a nonfiction movie, you mostly do two kinds of things, and these are also the things that you do as a nonfiction reader. So this is what avid nonfiction readers do. The first thing they do, so avid nonfiction readers, the first thing they do is they think, wow, oh my gosh, it ate the fly, I can't believe it. And the second thing they do is they ask questions. Why did it eat the fly? What made it realize the fly was on the Venus flytrap? I wonder what other kinds of bugs Venus flytraps eat. So that's what avid nonfiction readers do. They think, wow, and they ask questions. So today during your reading, you're going to be reading another book on Scholastic. And when you read that book, I want you to do two things. You're going to write down one thing that you thought, wow, about. And the second thing you're going to do is you're going to write down one question that you have after reading that book. And you're going to post them on Class Dojo. So I'm really excited to see what you were excited about and what questions you might have. All right, nonfiction readers, let's go off and do some reading. All right, so writers, just like we're talking about nonfiction in reading, we are also going to be talking about nonfiction in writing. And we're going to be writing nonfiction texts. So today we're going to be looking at a nonfiction book together, and we're going to try to notice some things that a nonfiction book does that maybe a fiction book doesn't do. So we talked about it, if you already watched our reading lesson, about what a nonfiction book means. So think, what does nonfiction mean? Okay, nonfiction writing is a piece of writing that has true information. Nonfiction books are not stories, they have real facts. So today I brought a nonfiction book to read aloud to you. And as I read the book, I want you to listen carefully and look at the pictures. And after we finish reading, I want you to write down what you noticed about nonfiction. All right, so the book that I brought is called Dragonflies. So here's the first page. What are dragonflies? Dragonflies are long, colorful insects with large wings. How do dragonflies look? Dragonflies have 4 wings. Their wings are thin and clear. Some wings have colored marks. Some dragonflies are as long as a child's finger. Other dragonflies are as long as a child's hand. Dragonflies have 2 big eyes. They can see a small bug across the yard. There's the picture. Dragonflies have strong mouths. They crunch and chew bugs. What dragonflies do? Dragonflies fly quickly. Some dragonflies can go almost as fast as a car. Dragonflies hold their legs in the shape of a net. They swoop through the air and catch insects with their legs. Dragonflies can mate while they fly. Male dragonflies hold the females when they move. When they mate. Female dragonflies lay eggs on water. Young dragonflies hatch from the eggs. And then back here we have all the terms that we use. So it's called the glossary. So it has female, hatch, insect, male, and mate. Awesome. I learned a lot about dragonflies. So now what I want you to do is we're gonna make a list of things we noticed in this nonfiction book. So I am going to think of one thing and I'll write it on here, and then I'm gonna have you guys brainstorm at home some other things you noticed about this book. So the first thing that I noticed about this book is that it has photographs. So it has actual photographs of dragonflies. They're not pictures that someone drew. So no one illustrated this book. These are actual photographs of dragonflies. So that's something different about a nonfiction book. So you will have this paper, and if you don't, then you can just write it on a piece of paper that you have at home, okay? And it says, what I learned about nonfiction. So the first thing I learned, and you don't have to write it in complete sentences, the first thing I noticed about nonfiction is that there are photographs. Okay? So now at home, I want you to try to come up with as many things as you can that you noticed in this nonfiction book. What did it have that maybe fiction books don't have? Think about the beginning, what there was before I started the story, what I showed you at the end, the pictures, the words, okay? And try to come up with as many things as you can, and you can submit it to your class dojo. All right, writers, let's go off and